Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing, love the way you look in the mirror, and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food. It's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Hey guys, and welcome back to a new episode, new week on Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Today is Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. It's a new week, a new chance to crush it and get closer to your goals. On the subject of goals, guys, sometimes really amazing, really bold, really big goals take a lot of time to see any results and any progress. That's why you always need to break down your big goals into smaller steps that you can measure and you can celebrate. So for example, for me, I'm getting really deep and fully into working on changing food industry. And one of the goals on that list to transform food industry is to create new food guidelines for food companies to follow and create food supply that improves our health, not just increases profits for food companies. So this is one of the goals on the list, and the first step toward that goal is to actually create an action plan of steps of solution that needs to be done and put into place in order to progress toward that goals. And the first step is, again, to create these first guidelines and send it to 100 people, some influential, some not so much, but to spread it around, get feedback, and maybe get it into the hands of the right people to move the needle forward and start making new step, actual progress faster and stronger towards that goal of transforming our food industry. So break down your big goals. Also, what it helps when you break down your bigger goals into smaller chunks is you don't feel overwhelmed. Like I can be, and I do feel really overwhelmed sometimes because this goal is quite big. We haven't accomplished it yet as a society. So how can I accomplish it myself? Not really having a lot of influence at the moment. But the thing is, of course, I'm not gonna do it by myself. But also, each goal is consists of series of small goals that come before that, and each goal consists of smaller steps that I can do today. And there is always something that you can do today, smaller project that you can work on that moves you towards your goal. And when you work on those smaller goals, they don't feel overwhelming. They feel like it's something you can do, and by working on them, you actually moving towards your bigger goals, not feeling all that overwhelmed. And once you get better, once you get progress, once you get some momentum going, you can take on bigger goals, and your big dream is not going to seem as huge and overwhelming as it could if you just thought about that big goal and that you got to accomplish something in one big chunk, one big step at once. That can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to. If you break down your big goals, your big dreams into smaller wins, smaller goals, smaller action steps that you can take today. That's about our goals. Monday is a great, great day to look ahead on your week, the week ahead, and look at that week and ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish this week? Like by the end of this week, what do I want to accomplish? So I'm proud of myself, and so I feel like I'm making progress towards the goals that are meaningful to me. Small project, small step forward, anything. Chunk down your big goals into something that you can accomplish in a month, in a week, and in a day. And that's how you get to feel accomplished and fulfilled every single day. Or at least if something doesn't work out, and there is always going to be something that doesn't work out, at least you can learn something to make it better the next day and to get closer to your goal the next day. Because without failures and lessons that we learn from doing something wrong, we cannot move forward. Failure is a part of a successful life. Failure is a part of progress, of movement towards our goals. That being said, guys, another thing that I wanted to talk to you about that is really, really, really important if you want to make progress towards the goals that you want to accomplish in your life is quitting something. Sometimes things just don't work. When you try something and you think it's going to move you towards your goal, but it doesn't move you towards your goal, and then at some point, you gotta quit it and you gotta start doing something else, try something else. Because if you do the same thing over again, hoping that it's gonna give you different results, sometimes it's not gonna happen ever. Sometimes, environment changes, timing changes, and it can still work. But also, very often, we just get so stubborn that we don't see that we need to change the way we do things in order to get to our results. Why am I talking about all of this? Well, I'm a huge keto low carb fan, and I've been practicing keto diet for 6 years, and I love it. But recently, I've been feeling that I just don't feel good. My energy is lower. I don't feel happy. And that's how you're supposed to feel when you're fully healthy, full of energy, and you're performing at your best. I didn't feel good. I felt heavier than I usually am. I was holding water, and I still looked super lean, but I felt like I was bigger, and I did look bigger. And my muscles, my tendons, my joints, it all felt like unnatural, not mine, not flexible. I just felt kind of like stuck. And also I felt like I'm tired of eating so much protein and fat, and it's like my stomach was not satisfied ever. I would eat, 3,000 calories, 4,000 calories, and I would still be low on energy, and I would still be hungry, and I would still be not satisfied, and I would start having those cravings about all kinds of, high carbohydrate foods, or that didn't happen never before. And so, nothing would work. I wanted to get lighter. I wanted to start running, and I wanted to start doing some track workouts and some kind of CrossFit workouts, more speed, more agility, more endurance, not so much a lot of weight and a lot of strength training. So that wasn't working, even though it did work for 6 years. So I'm like, okay, I gotta change something. And you might not know because it was quite a while ago, but I used to be a raw vegan for 4 years, and I got certified as a raw vegan nutritionist, as a raw vegan chef. I thought that was the thing. I don't believe that anymore, but I do believe that it's a great diet when it's done right, great tool that you can use if you want to try something different, if you want to try something simple, something that will give you a feeling of lightness, something that is mimicking fasting when done right, something that can improve your skin, improve your digestion, help you to lose a lot of weight fast, and will again make you feel better, look better, lighter, and when done right, again, it gives you this amazing feeling of peace and cleanliness inside. And again, you're going to feel better, have more energy, or look better. So what did I decide to do? I decided to go all fruit for the rest of the month of March. So basically for 3 weeks, I decided to go all in on fruits. 3 weeks and a little bit more. So today's day 5 on my all fruit diet after being super low on carbs and almost never eating fruits. I got to eating fruits entirely and eating 150 to 150 grams of carbohydrates total. Of course, there is a lot of 50 grams of fiber, so it's probably 150 grams of carbohydrates total. And nothing else, so no fat, almost zero fat, and somewhere around 10 grams of protein from those plant foods. And I know it's not sustainable, and I know I'm not gonna stay there, and I know I'm gonna go low carb and keto in a month or so. But I just needed to do something different to feel different. And so this is day 5. My energy is amazing. I'm always full of energy. I'm feeling much more creative. I'm feeling lighter. I have more energy for my workouts. I have my flexibility increased. I feel much more comfortable and younger and flexible, and my mobility increased, and I also do a strength workout now, and I started running. So the last run was 5K, even though I haven't run for a while, long runs, but I used to be a long distance runner too. So all fruit diet, if you want details, it's somewhere around 1,000 somewhere around 1,000 calories a day. So it's fasting mimicking diet. That's what I also needed. I felt like my body needed fasting, but I just couldn't imagine fasting entirely without food or on some fat and a little bit of protein. I just didn't feel like doing that. It just felt completely wrong, and then I would just crash with this kind of approach, because I wanted to eat fruits and I missed fruits, and I felt like I needed more fiber and I needed more vitamins and minerals. In spring, I felt like my body needed it. So my breakfast might be something like a banana. I also use raw cacao powder plus fruits, because it's a great source of magnesium, and magnesium is very important for cellular health. So 1,000 calories per day, somewhere around that. Today, for example, I'm going to eat a couple of bananas throughout the whole day. I'm going to eat 5 smaller apples, half of pomelo. It's a citrus fruit, if you don't know that, popular in Southeast Asia. And I'm going to eat some frozen cherries, and what else? And some raw carrots. So the whole thing is probably going to be around, again, 1,000 calories and nothing else. All fresh fruits, a little bit of vegetables, maybe some greens here and there. I also, again, I'm adding sodium, so I usually just add it to some of my water. It's most of the fruits are low sugar, except for probably bananas. I keep my fasting window for 16 to 18 hours a day. That's important to stabilize and to manage your blood sugar. And also the calories are important, because I also wanted to do the diet that is fasting mimicking, to clear out some some damaged proteins and some damaged cellular parts. So I wanted to induce and start and increase autophagy, or basically when the cell eats its own older parts, but that can only be achieved by either calorie restriction and protein restriction. So I have both now, but then also I wanted something that will give me energy for work, for life, because this month, moving to another country, I'm working on a food school project that I intend to make the biggest educational resource, anything food and diet related, where you're gonna see a lot of other teachers creating courses, and myself gonna be there teaching a couple of courses. So a lot of plans for this month, and I didn't want to feel like I'm barely making it and low on energy. That's what a lot of times fasting will do to you. You'll be you'll want to conserve as much energy as possible. So I didn't want to do that. That's why I also wanted to do all fruit diet that I thought will give me energy, and it is giving me energy every day. Amazing. I feel amazing. Like, guys, I really feel like that's what my body needed. So I'm doing all fruits diet for till the end of March. And again, some important details. This diet usually works for people who are quite active, who work out every day, and who are quite active mentally and physically. This diet works for people who have pretty good metabolism and are not insulin resistant, don't have much problems with their blood sugar. Otherwise, I do not recommend this diet. If you want to do all fruit diet, it's going to be a high carb, obviously, but it also got to be really, really low fat. You cannot do you cannot do high carb and high fat. Like, for example, if you add a bunch of nuts on top of fruits, that's not going to work. That's going to be metabolic disaster, and that's not going to make you feel better. So it's got to be super low fat. And I always recommend to add some electrolytes. You're going to be getting enough potassium and probably calcium and other electrolytes by sodium and magnesium. I'm adding magnesium from my raw cocoa powder that I eat with my bananas, raw like that, nothing added. And then salt, again, I just drink it with a glass of water, like once a day. I may take a whole spoon. I drink it really fast, maybe with some lemon squeezed into this water to keep my blood pressure stable, so I don't feel like headed or dizzy, and don't have problems exercising, and any kind of discomfort, like I'm about to faint when I get up really fast. So that can happen if your electrolytes are out of balance. But anyway, guys, to conclude this episode, first of all, not to feel overwhelmed by your big dreams, build big goals, chunk them down, and start working on the smallest step that you can measure and that you can make progress on as soon as possible. Start working on the smallest step that seems manageable and you're excited to start. This is number one. Number two, if something doesn't work, even if you love it, and even if you've been doing it forever, if something doesn't work and doesn't bring you the result that you want to see, change it. I've been doing keto for 6 years. It doesn't feel right now to do it. I wanted a break, so I'm doing this all fruit diet. And if you want this kind of like spring summer feeling of lightness, and again, you're pretty active, you're pretty healthy metabolically, then I really recommend you to try all fruit diet, because it's simple. You don't have to count carbs, you don't have to count proteins. You gotta be mindful about the amount of fruit you eat. You cannot just eat and eat. That's not gonna bring you a lot of results. It can actually make your health worse. So you gotta limit it. But when it's done right, 1,500 calories gonna be more than enough to make you feel satisfied with all the fiber, all the water, and a nice amount of carbohydrates and proteins and vitamins. So keep your fat low, and they are going to be low if you stick to whole fruits. No dried fruits, no juices, none of that nonsense. Keep exercising, keep your fasting window to at least 12 to 14 hours a day. And if you have any questions, follow me on Instagram. You can find the link in the show notes. Follow me on Instagram, my journey for fruity March. I don't know how to call it. So follow me there, ask questions on my social media, or shoot me email to Angela@createyourself.today. Again, if you want to feel something different, if you want to see weight loss results really fast, it's not the thing that you can maintain for life, but if you need something that is super simple, that will give you energy for life, that will keep you happy and healthy, and will give you the progress you need to maybe have a little bit more motivation to jumpstart your health and healthy eating journey, then you can try all fruit diet, and I'm here to help you. And it's Monday. It's a great day to start something new, start something important, start something that will move you towards a better you, towards the progress that you see to make in your life. So that's about it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This week, we're going to have some amazing guests, some amazing episodes. So stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in. Love you all. Wish you an amazing, productive week that's going to bring you closer towards your bigger, bolder goals. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.